What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past 24 hours, and we have a lot of topics to discuss and a lot of big topics to discuss as well. Firstly, Deco has lost his mind. He's now decided to sack off Nico Williams, and his first left wing option now is Diaz, and he's willing to sell Raphinha to facilitate the operation. Deco thinks that Diaz is a better winger, I should say, for Barcelona than Nico Williams, and he is now the chosen one to come in and reinforce that position, but only if Raphinha is sacrificed. I'll give you guys all the information and details on that operation. Some big news about Mikel Merino. Of course, yesterday he was basically a new target, and now all of a sudden Barcelona are preparing a bid for the Sociedad midfielder. We have the exact numbers and figures of the deal, and also when Barcelona plan to officially place that bid as well. We also have a strong idea now of what Barcelona want to do in order to retain the two Joaos. What Barcelona want to do is try and loan Felix and Cancelo again from Man City and Atletico Madrid, respectively. We have more updates on the formula. A lot of updates as well on Barcelona doing business with Girona, of course, Romeo being involved, Pablo Torre, Pau Victor, Eric Garcia. We'll talk about that. Big updates as well on the sale of BarcaVision, also on the Nike deal. We have now a date for the home kit coming out. And finally, we do have a significant update on the injury of Gavi, and he could be returning sooner rather than later. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, before we get into this video is sponsored by LU Soccer. LU Soccer is one of the best replica jersey websites on the market. It's so versatile. They have a variety of different items, all the clubs, nations, authentic training, women's, NBA stuff as well. They've got absolutely everything. What they sent me today is the training kit for Barcelona this season. Look at the detail in the badge. Material is absolutely fantastic. It comes in excellent condition as well. Looks like the real deal, but for 70% cheaper than the actual price. It's a fantastic website, super reliable, and make sure you hit the top link in my description down below and use the discount code at checkout, BB10. So Barca Boy BB. If you use the discount code BB10 at checkout, as you can see on the screen, you do get 10% off your order. And also, if you order a kit or anything from the website and you record yourself unboxing it, upload it to YouTube, LU Soccer will give you any kit you want for free. Absolutely fantastic deal. You get 10% off and a free kit if you just record your video, upload it. I think it has to be around a minute, 2 minutes long of you unboxing and showing it. That is it. It's a life hack. So make sure you hit the top link in the description down below and check out LU Soccer today. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past 24 hours. Firstly, a big report has come out on what Barcelona want to do in the left wing position. There seems to be a change of opinion, and you could say on the worser side. Now, this is coming in from a variety of different outlets. Firstly, Fernando Polo of Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Diaz is the left winger who Deco likes the most, but Barcelona can only go for him if Raphinha is sold for a good fee. Barcelona value Raphinha very much and would only sacrifice him if they are able to improve the left wing position. Also, Franco Sport came out confirming this, saying that Diaz is ahead of Nico Williams right now in Deco's list to reinforce the left wing. Deco finds Nico Williams to be an interesting player, but with an imbalance that needs space to unlock his full potential, since speed is one of his best traits. Whereas if he finds Diaz to be more of a balance with character as well. Let's analyze this. Firstly, Deco wanting Diaz. Deco, you ain't the effing manager, blood. What? I get it, the sporting director, if he's gonna make a call on someone and player, it should be him. I get that. But run it through Hansi Flick. What if Hansi Flick prefers Nico Williams? Look, it boggles my mind how there's so much favoritism in this club. Oh, I'm gonna go get him because I like him. Have you watched him play this season? He's been shite. So first of all, in order to sign Diaz, we had to sell Raphinha. I think that's firstly not true. I think we can go out and sign Diaz while keeping Raphinha, but I think it makes more sense to sell Raphinha, to bring in Diaz, because you can't have Diaz, Raphinha, Lamine Yamal being your wingers. There's going to be so much unhappiness from whoever's going to be on the bench at that point. So this signing relies on Raphinha being sold. Of course, we'll talk about Raphinha being sold later on in the sales section of the video. In this report, that Frankress says that Deco finds Nico Williams to be an interesting player, but he's a bit imbalanced. Because he needs space to figure out his full potential because speed is his best trait, whereas Diaz is more of a balanced winger. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. But I can tell you three things that are, three faults of Luis Diaz, three faults of Nico Williams. No player in the world is perfect. There's only one perfect player in the world, and that's Messi. That is it. No other player in this earth is perfect. They all have their pros and cons. And for me, Nico Williams still fits the mold way better than Luis Diaz. Look at his injury record as well. You compare the numbers. You compare the age difference of 6 years. How Nico Williams is already friends with a lot of players in the squad. His integration process will be piss easy. Luis Diaz is going to come to a new club. Of course, his father was kidnapped. He wanted the Barcelona move. So the headline's going to be that his father got his son his dream move. All that sort of stuff. Ain't got time for that, bruv. Listen, I think Luis Diaz is a good player. I rate him. I just think that Nico Williams is better suited for Barcelona. To be honest, if we sign Luis Diaz, will I be upset? Not particularly, depending, of course, on how much we spend on him and if we actually have to sell Raphinha to bring him in. I'd much rather have Raphinha at left wing than Luis Diaz at left wing based on last season's form. I think Luis Diaz is a better left winger, of course, than Raphinha. Of course, you compare Raphinha right wing, Luis Diaz left wing. Raphinha is cleared. You can see that from the numbers from the past 2 or 3 seasons. Luis Diaz is a good player when he's on form and consistent, but that's very rare. And for me, the fact that, with Nico Williams, you bring him in, he'll be cheaper for sure. Liverpool are gonna ask for a high fee for sure for Luis Diaz. They invested, I believe, 50 million, 60 million in him. So to sell him, I think they want to see around the same price or probably make a profit, similar to what we want to do with Raphinha as well, if of course we end up selling him. But the good news here is that Barcelona value Raphinha very much and will only sacrifice him if a good offer comes in. So if that good offer comes in, this Luis Diaz operation might advance. Apparently Deco does rate him for Barcelona better than Nico Williams, but we'll wait and see how things do turn out. I think this is just the media again twisting and turning. 1 minute. Remember they said 2 days ago that Bernabeu Sport, Nico Williams big favorite at left wing. You're telling me in the space of 2 days it all of a sudden changes to Luis Diaz? We've known for a long time now. Even Joao Laporte, remember, we did bid for Luis Diaz when he was at Porto, when he made that January move to Liverpool. We were the first to bid. Porto rejected the offer, and in the end, Liverpool came and swooped in and did the deal. And I think, 32 hours or something like that. So keep your eyes on this. I think definitely Luis Diaz is an option for the left wing position if things go our way, money-wise, blah, blah, blah. Whether he's ahead of Nico Williams or not remains to be seen. But again, his name is gaining a lot of traction in that left wing position. Now, the biggest news over the past 24 hours has been the news around Mikel Merino. Yesterday, I told you guys he's all of a sudden a big favorite, a big target in the midfield. 24 hours later, we're putting in a bloody bid for him. Now, firstly, Fernando Polo Mundo Deportivo came out confirming the news, saying that Mikel Merino is one of the names on the table, but the club hasn't made any move for him yet due to his 60 million euro release clause. Sociedad will be forced to negotiate since he has 1 year left on his deal. He came out saying this, I believe, in the morning, and then in the evening, late last night, Tony Juan Martí has come out saying that Barcelona have analyzed many players to strengthen the midfield, but everyone agrees on Mikel Merino. The club believes that he can be a major addition to Flick's team as he can play in a 4-2-3-1 formation and also a 4-3-3. The proposed amount for the transfer fee of Mikel Merino would be 25 million euros fixed fee plus 5 million euros in variable. The club needs to reach the 1-1 rule. The club needs to reach the 1-1 rule first before formalizing the offer. Of course, Merino himself doesn't want to rush things as he's focused on the upcoming Euros. After the tournament, he will decide his future. He has a renewal offer on the table from Sociedad, but Barcelona's interest is, of course, attractive due to Champions League football. Barcelona also have an excellent relationship with his agent, who's also the same agent as Pau Cubarsí. That offer ain't too bad. I think that would be honestly the max I would pay for Merino. 30 million euros altogether. You break that down to variables. You can do a 20 plus 10, 25 plus 5. I don't think it really changes too much. It's a very good offer. I think overall, I ain't complaining. I think, again, Merino is a fantastic player. I think, you know what, if everyone agrees on him, everyone agrees on him. I think, again, when you compare him to the other target in Joshua Kimmich, pros and cons to each, but I think Mikel Merino does come out on top in terms of adaptability, integration, system flexibility, attitude in the dressing room as well, cheaper price, cheaper wages. I think Joshua Kimmich is a better player, but that's pretty much where he beats him. Which maybe you could say is, the main thing. You want the better player, I get that, but more longevity in Mikel Merino as well, even though I think he's only 1 year younger, so not too much on the year difference, but I think in every other factor, it is a big boost. So wait and see. So this deal's not imminent, so to speak, like Tony Martin says. Right now, Mikel Merino is focused on the Euros. We'll wait and see. We might maybe make the bid mid-Euros. Those that might reject it or accept it, that stuff remains to be seen as well. So this might be happening post-Euros. I think formalization, here we go from Fabrizio Romano, all that sort of stuff. But this transfer is picking up pace. 24 hours ago, interest is strong. Next minute, we got our bid formalized and ready to go. We're going to submit it as soon as we can, of course, when Barcelona reach the 1-1 rule. So wait and see how things do turn out. I think this would be a great signing, but only time will tell if this operation is formalized or not. Now, with the Mikel Merino signing, very much you could say, not advanced in negotiation, but advanced in the thought process of going for him and everything behind the scenes. Other players now are falling off the pecking order at Barcelona. We're going to go through them. Of course, they're all in the midfield as well. First up is Amadou, Onana, and Bruno. Guimarães, Fernando Polo, Bruno Portivo came out saying that Amadou Onana is one who Deco likes the most, but Barcelona thinks signing him is impossible because Everton will ask for an absolutely unaffordable amount. Deco also likes Bruno Guimarães too, but he also has a very high, expense rate. So with Everton, apparently Everton and Newcastle need to make sales to balance financial fair play rules in the Premier League by June the 30th, so they might be forced to sell players. Well, they are going to be forced to sell players, but for how much, only time will tell. The sooner that June goes on, the more advantage that everyone else has. Keep your eyes on this, but now with Barcelona not really looking for a natural number 6, you could say maybe Amadou Onana is ruled out, although both these two players can play in a double pivot. We don't want a positional pivot anymore, so, keep your eyes on it. If they get maybe really cheap, maybe Everton panic, like, oh, Onana 40 million, who wants him, take it or leave it, might swoop in there. But I think with Bruno Guimarães, it's never going to happen. He has a release clause, of course, at Newcastle for around 100 million euros. They probably want to sell him for around 80 or 90. Ain't no way in hell we're paying that for him, so no chance with that. But again, another pivot that's falling through right now is Guido Rodriguez. Fernando Polo came out saying that Barcelona think that the signing of Guido Rodriguez will fall away soon. They can't guarantee his registration, and the player's now looking at other options. Of course, right this second, we cannot guarantee his registration, but once the rule kicks in and we're back alive, that should be no problem. But now we're going to be talking about some targets that we haven't mentioned in quite some time, and these are, of course, names that Xavi wanted this summer. First one up is Dani Olmo. Franco Rasson Sport came out saying that Dani Olmo is now moving away from Barcelona. He's one of the names that who Xavi wanted to reinforce the attack with, but with Hansi Flick's arrival, his name has disappeared again. Even when Xavi was here, I was saying that this transfer didn't make sense. He's not really the player that we need, especially out wide on the left. He's a good player that you want to maybe pick up for free in the future. I don't think going out there spending 60 million on Dani Olmo is what the team needs right now. Again, he's kind of a luxury signing. I would rather sign him over Bernardo Silva. I think that both of them are around the same price. I've been very consistent with that, and I will still stand by that point. So wait and see in the future. I would definitely place a good bet on Dani Olmo joining Barcelona at some point before he ends his career, but right now, very, very unlikely. And the final player that Xavi wanted, but again, the interest is still there from Barcelona, but it's not as strong as it was, a few weeks ago. It is for Xavi Simons. We finally got our first update on Xavi Simons' transfer since Hansi Flick has become the manager, and it's coming in from Fabrizio Romano. He's come out saying that Xavi Simons is now complicated to Barcelona as the club feel this deal is more difficult now with many clubs getting involved. Barcelona wanted to keep this loan operation a secret. There's no secrets in the Mercado now, especially in 2024. And who cares if he's a secret or not? I think if you put every single club in the world on the table, Xavi Simons would still pick Barcelona. Again, it's where he's from. All his best friends play here. It's a club that he wants to redeem himself. He was the first young talent that I followed. I remember being, in high school, and there's another Xavi coming up with hooded hair in the Barcelona Academy. I think he was like 14 or 15 years old. Had like 1 million followers on Instagram. Like he was popping off. I remember when he signed with Mino Raiola, we were all pissed. But I think the return is clear if, of course, Barcelona made that pursuit. It's still a little unclear on whether or not Barcelona are still actually interested in him. I think, again, loan move, absolutely easy money, would 100% take him, especially now as you're looking maybe in the midfield. Romeo leaving, Roberto leaving. You bring in Mikel Merino, you bring in Xavi Simons. Talk about freaking upgrades. My freaking God. Can play as a false 9, on the right, on the left, in the 10, in the double pivot. He's exactly a player that you want. And they, starting of the season as well with no Gavi. he can be a shooting starter. Of course, Pedri has one hamstring. He's got his moment. So we'll wait and see. I think, again, out of all these players, the most likely one I would still say on the table right now is Xavi Simons. I would say Dani Olmo, 100% not happening. Guido at this point, probably not. And Onana and Guimarães, unless Everton and Newcastle, respectively, all of a sudden, deduct their price by 60%, not even half, 60%. Then they're probably ruled that as well. So wait and see what happens with these, fallen transfer target. But looks like there's no hope for any of them. Maybe a little bit left for Xavi Simons. Now, the final transfer update that we do have is quickly on the two Joaos. I mentioned this in yesterday's video, and I'm so happy, I'm so satisfied to hear this now being reiterated in the Catalonia media. I said in yesterday's video, officially Barcelona want to keep both the Joaos. No problem with that. They both kind of have their pros and cons, but do it on a respectable level. Do not overpay. Do not go over the top. You make your offers to City and Atletico. They take it. Cool. If not, you walk out the door, and that looks to be the mindset. Alex Pentel of Relivo came out saying that Barcelona, of course, want to keep Felix and Cancelo, but only with the current conditions. Another loan for a year. So Barcelona looking to do the exact same operation that Felix and Cancelo are under right now, respectively. No problem with that whatsoever. Again, with Cancelo, it's a no-brainer. With Felix, again, I have Ansu Fati stock, heavily invested, so I want to see him get a chance. And with him being on the left, Joao Felix on the left, new left winger coming in, Ferran Torres, who can also play on the left. I mean, ain't looking good for Ansu Fati. So we'll wait and see. Again, Man City and Atletico Madrid can say no, and the Barcelona will be like, okay, we tried. We'll move on. Maybe we'll do an extra one more push, and that's it. The most important thing for me is that, again, we don't go over the top. We don't spend, I would spend money on Cancelo around 20. Felix, I mean, I would spend 20 just to please Jorge Mendes at this point, because he's fucking running this club at this point. But I would not spend a penny over 40 million for the combined of them, and 20 million a pop. At the worst case, best case scenario. So we'll wait and see how things turn out. But again, the formula that Barcelona want to keep the Joao is the exact same conditions that they are under right now, and hopefully that means that Barcelona will not overpay or over pursue these two players. Let's discuss the players that have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past 24 hours. First up quickly is on Raphinha. We touched upon him in the beginning of the video, where Barcelona, if they do sell Raphinha, will go for Luis Diaz, but they're happy with Raphinha and they'll only sell him for a big offer. Mundo Deportivo again came out saying that Raphinha has already rejected an important offer from Saudi Arabia and interest from the Premier League as well. Barcelona value him a lot and would only sell him if they can sign a better player in his position. I want to reiterate to you guys that, again, Raphinha has no agent, so if Barcelona want to do anything involving him, sale, contract renewal, promotion, whatever it may be, they need to speak directly to the player. Who's the player's former agent? The sporting director of Barcelona, Deco. Remember, Deco pulled, he gave away his arm and his leg to get Raphinha to Barcelona. He gave away his agent bonuses, his agent fees to make the whole entire transfer possible 2 years ago. Imagine him walking to Raphinha saying, hey, you're out the door. Again, I don't think these things will line up. Now, Platigo from Sky Germany, again, #1 source in Germany, very close to Hansi Flick and, the German entourage. He's come out saying that Hansi Flick has firmly included Raphinha in his plans and considers him a potentially key player. However, many clubs are interested in Raphinha and a decision about his future has not been made yet. So the issue is that Barcelona is standing right now that they like Raphinha, they want to keep him, but there's a lot of teams that want him. So what Barcelona is saying is that, okay, we want Raphinha, we like him, we want to keep him, so only a big offer will accept. So he's Raphinha's a player that you want to keep, that he makes Barcelona better. He's had a good season, of course. You want to have that good squad depth as well. But he's kind of the player as well where, okay, there is a price for him. Of course, Araujo, there's no, from the club's perspective, of course. For me, it's different. Araujo, anyone can bid anything unless he wants to leave, of course. They won't accept anything. Pedri, billion offer, they'll reject it. Gavi, billion offer, they reject it. Lamine Yamal, $1 billion offer, they'll reject it. So these kind of players, untouchable. They will not sell under any conditions whatsoever. But for Raphinha, there are conditions. Again, the club are happy with him. They want to keep him. But if someone bids, 80, 90 million, the club ain't going to be stupid and they're going to accept it. So we'll wait and see. They talk about all this interest and stuff, and I don't know if it's going to be offers on the table that will, of course, satisfy Barcelona. What's good thing here for Barcelona is that we do not need a big sale. Again, João Laporta confirmed this in the Barca 1 interview a few days ago, with us now close to the 1-1 rule as well. Very, very clear we don't need to sell players. So if we do need to sell players, Barcelona might be a bit more lenient, and you could be, looking with Raphinha basically 1 foot out the door. But with Barcelona being in control in regards to sale, we'll wait and see how things do turn out. But again, remember, Deco, he's a former agent of Raphinha. He brought him to Barcelona. He sacrificed a lot. Agent fees, bonuses. That's something very important to remember, and that Raphinha right now does not have an agent either. So we'll wait and see how things turn out. But for now, the club are very happy with Raphinha. They want to keep him, but an offer coming in could tempt the club. Now, it is highly likely that Barcelona and Girona this summer will do some form of, negotiation, some sort of business, probably involving more than one player, and we do have the updates around the situation. Now, firstly, an update from Mundo Deportivo. They came out saying that Romeo and Inaki Peña right now have not asked to leave Barcelona. They're waiting to work under Hansi Flick and will only leave if an irrefutable offer comes in. Again, stuff will change when Hansi Flick comes in, the season starts, they all have their chats, all that sort of stuff. But what's clear with Romeo is that he's probably going to be most likely going to be one that's going to be sacrificed. Now, Daily AR Sport came out saying that Romeo's return to Girona is taken for granted. The player would arrive for free at Girona because Barcelona plan to terminate his contract. I'm really hoping we can get anything for Romeo, even like variables, just variables. So that, if Girona get top 4 again, give us $1 million. If they get European spots, give us $1 million. If they get to the round 16 of the Champions League, give us $1 million. If they score more than 20 goals, keep 20 clean sheets, give us $1 million. I would do variables, but you know what? Whatever we have to do to get rid of him, I guess is where the stance is currently at. But again, Romeo is not the only player that Girona are interested in. They're also, of course, interested in Eric Garcia. Again, the other AR Sport came out saying that after Xavi's departure, Eric Garcia is now further away from returning to Barcelona. Xavi was a big supporter of Eric, but it's not certain that Flick is. Girona is still interested in buying him permanently, as Mikel loves him. The process, though, will take time. I do want to remind you guys that Eric Garcia most likely will be called up for Spain in the Olympic squad, so he's going to be, busy from end of July to beginning of August. So if you want to sort out his future, will hopefully be beforehand. But again, with all these players being linked, Barcelona and Girona, you could just do one big deal. Now, you're probably wondering what Girona players do we want. Alex Garcia off the Bayern Leverkusen. We're looking at Mikel Merino anyways. Dobik, of course, we're going to keep Lewandowski, so the Dobik interest is dead. Savio's gone to the City. So what Girona player do Barcelona want? There is actually one, surprisingly. It's Pau Victor, the Barça Athletic striker. Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona will try and keep Pau Victor, who's of course currently on loan from Girona, but now the operation will be much more complicated. The striker has scored 22 goals for Barça Athletic this season and is also the top scorer in the Primera Federation, of course the 3rd division. His loan will last until July, and Girona may include Eric Garcia and Pablo Torre in this operation. Again, Barcelona do have a buy option for Pau Victor for around 3 million euros. Of course, you're probably wondering, why are we going to buy Pau Victor? Again, he's 22 years old, so he's fairly old for, a Barca B player. Usually around 23 is like kind of the cutoff point. I think what Barcelona want to do is, of course, flip him for a greater price, a greater profit. He's done very well this season, and again, despite his numbers, still never even got in a squad list. I think he got into maybe 1 or 2 squad lists, but never got on the pitch. I don't think he warmed up for the first team this season. But again, it is a player that Girona have that Barcelona do like, so keep that in mind. He could be involved in some deals. If we're giving them Romeo for free, and maybe Eric Garcia on a good price, they might give us Pau Victor in return for free. So very interested to see this Barcelona Girona business this summer, because there's 100% going to be some sort of operation happening. I'm almost certain of it, guaranteed, but wondering how and for how much and what it is. That's the interesting part. Now, also, by the way, Girona are interested in Macalfe, but Macalfe right now is being linked with the move to Portugal. Sport came out saying that Zubizarreta, who of course is a legendary, iconic Barcelona goalkeeper, former sporting director of Barcelona as well, under Bartomeu, he came out, the Sport came out saying that Zubi wants to sign Macalfe for Porto. The Portuguese club would be happy to repeat the Nico Gonzalez formula as sale, so they'll buy him permanently and give Barcelona a buyback option. So again, Macalfe attracting a lot of interest. I think he was on the bench for the Senegalese first team the other night in one of their friendly games. Girona very strongly interested. We're hearing even reports in the Premier League that United and Arsenal like him as well, and now you have the Portugal link as well. So Macalfe's situation is going to be very interesting. But again, we'll wait and see what happens with this Barcelona Girona business talks, because something is going to happen in these two clubs. The question is what, how much, who, what, when, where, why, how, pretty much. Let's now discuss some of the injury updates around the first team at Barcelona. We have an injury update on Pablo Gavi. I think he posted on his Instagram the other day that it was now, day 200 of him out with this ACL injury. Now, following the, that 200-day mark, Fernando Polo of Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Gavi may return in October or November. So not really giving us much of a timeline. But then, having Miguel also confirms as well, saying that there's now about 4 months left until Gavi returns. Of course, now we're in June, so June to July, July to August, August to September, September to October. So around October. I will tell you guys this right now for free. The reason why I didn't say this is the best news around Barcelona, because I think, first of all, the bid for Mikel Merino is better. Secondly, I will tell you this right now for free. He will not play for Barcelona until 2025. He's going to come back around October, maybe November. He's going to need to train for at least, bare minimum, a month to get back to fitness and sharpness. He's going to come off the bench about 5,000 times as well. 5th minute. Oh, Gavi's back. Woohoo! Might get stuck in with one challenge. You all get happy and then you move on. He probably won't start a game for Barcelona until the new year. If he starts a game before Barcelona before the new year, I don't know if I should be scared or happy. I mean, again, you had a meniscus tear, ACL tear. You've got to be careful. And how important of a player Gavi is, you cannot take any risks whatsoever, and that's why the signing of Xavi Simons would be hella nice to kind of cover for that first 4 or 5 month period of the season. Again, for me, Gavi, I have no expectations for him next season. He can come in. I want him to take his time, integrate. He can play crap. I would not judge him. Again, it's all about taking your time and recovering the Gavi that we had before his injury, because that's the Gavi that this team desperately needs. And if we miss out on that because De La Fuente was freaking drunk with his bald, pricky head and decided to play him in some meaningless friendly, then what's the bloody point? So, again, the media is saying he'll be back in around 4 months. I'm telling you, we won't see him, fully fit starting for Barcelona until the new year. So, wait and see who's right and who's wrong. Let's now discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past 24 hours. First, we do have some updates on the preseason plan of Hansi Flick for Barcelona. The Diaz Sport have come out saying that Hansi Flick will return to Barcelona on Monday, again confirming yesterday's video, to meet Deco and make preparation for the season. One thing to be discussed is the return date for preseason. Xavi chose July the 10th, so it remains to be seen if that date is kept, changed, moved forward, moved backwards, stuff like that. Until Ansu Fati to Sevilla is a done deal, he will start preseason with Barcelona. Only 4 current first-team players will be at the start of preseason. That is Iñaki Peña, Inigo Martinez, Vitor Roque, and Oriol Romeu. The injured and loan players will also be back as well. So Balde, Julian Araujo, Pablo Torre, Clement Lenglet, Alex Vai, Ansu Fati, of course, as well. Now, they also said that Barcelona could allow Sergio Roberto to start preseason with the squad, despite his contract going to be done at that point. He could potentially train with the team without even having a Barcelona contract. So, on paper, 4 first-team players, and the fact that Iñaki Peña and Romeu are going to be there for July the 10th, but not even June the 10th yet. So, very unlikely that Romeu or anyone leaves in the next month. So this next month, we're going to hear nothing but news. Might sign someone on a free. Maybe we get a deal over the line for Mikel Merino. But we ain't selling no one because, Hansi Flick wants everyone to come back. And unless there's like a clear and obvious one. I thought, Romeu was clear and obvious. But now all of a sudden, that's totally different. And also, Hansi Flick wants players to invest more time inside the gym's facilities. Now, we know that Koundé likes to train a lot. I think the training has improved. The what's the word I'm looking for? The hunger from the players to go, hit the gym has improved under Xavi. Would I say it's still peak conditions? Probably not. So hopefully Hansi Flick there can have an impact. Now, also, Catalonia Radio came out saying that Hansi Flick wants to close the door to Barcelona's dressing room and prevent other people, except for Deco, from regularly following the team's training. Now, of course, this will help prevent leaks. I don't know if he's going to close the door for Joao Laporta as well, because he loves to watch the training. What about Rafael Uste? What about Enric Masip? What about Echeverri? What about Boyan? I don't know, but I think he means more so the press not watching the training sessions. Of course, we see a lot of clips. I think, they might have to let the press in for like the first 15 minutes or something like that. I don't know, but we'll wait and see what the logistics is. And of course, we have to take training videos as well, stuff like that. So I don't know the exact details of that description, but I think the main thing here is that he really wants to reduce the leaks around Barcelona. So we'll wait and see how things do turn out ahead of the start of the preseason in about a month's time. Now, as we all know, right now the club's main priority is to return to the 1-1 rule, and Joao Laporta is working very hard on that in order to achieve it, of course, by the end of this month. Now, Marta Ramon from Raccoon has come out saying that Barcelona are in advanced negotiation with an existing partner of the club to bring in funds through Barca Vision's innovation. There won't be any new investors involved. The most urgent need is to cover the 40 million owed by Liberal. The next 60 million payment has been postponed to September 15th. The most likely scenario is starting the transfer market period with financial challenges. To return to the 1-1 rule, the club needs to secure 100 million from the BarcaVision initiative and the new jersey sponsor deal. The club has already extended the 12 million bank guarantee from Laporta and the treasurer that they have, of course, put in last summer. This is cap. Barcelona, do not let this media, what they want to do is bring down the hype. Oh no, 1-1 rule, June the 30th hits. Where's the 1-1 rule? Get it, let's go. That's what they want to do. Barcelona just need one Nike renewal, BarcaVision to get back to the 1-1 rule. You just need one of those. If you get both, even freaking better. But we already know that the Nike deal is already over the line. We'll talk about that in a few seconds. Also on the Nike deal as well, Barcelona kind of see it as an economic lever according to Lavo and Guardia. So the fact that Raphinha are saying, oh, you need the Nike deal and BarcaVision, but then you have Lavo and Guardia, oh, the Nike deal is so good, it's basically just another economic lever. I'll tell you, I've been telling you guys this for months and months and months, and I will say it again. One of the Nike deal, BarcaVision, needs to be executed to return to the 1-1 rule. The club want to do both. We should do both, of course, to better our financial fair play margin, but only one is needed to return to the 1-1 rule. Not both, just one. So wait and see how things turn out. But again, the most important thing is to, of course, get both deals over the line. But again, I'm very confident, and it's going to be... I'll say this before I say it again. It is embarrassing. It will be an absolute disgrace if June the 30th hits and we are not in the 1-1 rule. Absolute disgrace. You have now another month to get these deals over the line. The Nike deal is basically over with. Just now focus on, restructuring and getting, new investments and new funds for BarcaVision. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is, of course, in regards to the Nike deal. Now, memorabilia from Twitter has come out saying that Barcelona's home kit for the 24-25 season will be released on Thursday, June the 20th. So, in 6 days' time. The kit, of course, is inspired by the 100th anniversary of Football Club Barcelona. We already know this. But that date is important. So from now until June the 20th, Barcelona can announce this renewal deal with Nike at any point. They can announce it on that day, which I think was planned and was mentioned by memorabilia a few weeks ago as well. But again, with the kit, the kit release now having a date, I guarantee you the Barcelona players have already done promotion, already, taking pictures in the kits, even though it hasn't been leaked yet, which is, I would say is a good thing. Everything's already done in that aspect. It's just now down to, of course, making the final announcement. So we'll wait and see how things do turn out. But again, next Thursday, 6 days from now, the club will officially announce, reveal, show pictures of and everything like that for the home kit for next season. The away kit will come out July, I think 1st or 2nd, somewhere around there. Third kit in September. Those days are already set in stone. So expect the Nike deal, the Nike renewal, 100 million euro bonus plus 120 fixed fee for the entire season to be announced within the next 6 days. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past 24 hours. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want to first see, of course, is your thoughts on the potential signing of Diaz. Would you sign him over Nico Williams? Would you sign him in general or not? Secondly, kind of, a 1A to that question. Would you sell Raphinha to bring in Diaz? And would you sell Raphinha at all? For what price? Thirdly, your thoughts on the Mikel Merino operation moving this quickly. Your thoughts on the price as well and the profile of the player. Thirdly, your thoughts on the Joaos. Do you agree with Barcelona to only try and get a loan deal again? Would you go the extra mile for them or not? And finally, your thoughts on Gavi's injury as well, when he will return. Think he'll actually return before the new year? You think he'll be fully fit by after the new year like I've been thinking about? Of course, leave me all your thoughts down in the comments below. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.
Yeah.